New on Curiosity Stream. How do you connect a 16th century potato to limitless energy production? Could Napoleon's toothpick have a direct link to a machine that predicts the future? And how can a 1700s conch shell chart a course to humans connecting their brains to the internet? James Burke's visionary series Connections returns for a new generation. Experience all new Connections. With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find the one that works for you at curiositystream.com.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Join us as we seek the truth and travel the long road to justice. What's going on, everybody? It's Wednesday, and that means it's time for another episode of Pretty Lies and Alibis. Fruit Loop. What's good?
This studio.
I know, right?
It is so cool.
We are getting there.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. We have just the coolest little spot to chill and do this. And I also think this is going to be the teenager hangout room when they have sleepovers.
Yeah. Or we'll kick them out.
So
it's like a conglomerate of like us.
It really is. And how different we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we always say, not just on here, but I think everybody who knows us knows that we are so opposite in so many ways.
Yeah.
But it works.
Yeah. Yeah.
And speaking of which, we were in here hanging stuff yesterday and we got frustrated a few times. I am the only person I know that can punch myself in the mouth.
That was so funny.
So I was trying to remove one of those hooks off the wall.
And they're not easily removable, even though it says easy to remove.
No, they were not easy to remove. So I'm pulling and just flexing my muscle trying to get this thing off the wall. And then it shoots off the wall. And I literally punched myself right in the mouth. I thought I'd knocked my teeth out.
Glad you didn't do that with a hammer.
Oh, no. And then you had a time when we were mounting the TV.
Yeah.
And you said I don't think I've ever heard you curse, and you didn't last night, but I think you might have been the closest you ever have been.
I said if I cussed, I would have then.
I make up for that.
Yeah, those little things got stuck in the wall, wouldn't come out. Very annoying.
Yeah, it was you were sweating over there.
Yeah, but it looks good now, so it's all right.
Speaking of how different we were, I thought this was really funny last night. So I'm hanging my Woodstock poster up in the studio, and I said, okay, if I could go back to one big event in history, I would go to Woodstock out of all the events that have happened. And Fruit Loop, what do you say?
You said, where would you go back to? And I'm like, Noah and on the Ark. I just think it'd be cool to be like riding the Ark with those animals and like the flood and all that. So yeah, that's why we're totally opposites. You going to Woodstock, I'm going to Bible Times back.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
It's a big old boat, dude.
There you go. And it's just a big old music festival with a lot of people I would have loved to have seen live.
Yeah.
But no,
But if there would have been a flood at Woodstock, I would have been safe.
There was kind of a flood. There was a big mud fest.
Really?
I don't know if you remember, but
I don't know a lot about Woodstock.
We need to watch the documentary together.
Yeah.
I was very hesitant. I'll watch it with my daughter, my oldest. She's all into Woodstock too. My dad would have went to Woodstock, but I think he was 15 and his parents said no. He was going to sneak out and go, but I guess he decided to be a good boy.
I feel like a lot of people snuck out and went.
Yeah, I mean, here's the coolest thing about Woodstock to me. If you look at the number of people that were there, and there was no drama. No drama. They were talking about how very little there were fights, and just it was a very peaceful event. I don't know. I'm just a music freak. Music is kind of the core of my life, you guys.
You are, and I know music, but I don't know song names. Like, it's horrible.
Oh,
and
no.
I'm horrible at it.
Yeah, you're horrible.
But you're good. Like you could go on one of those TV shows.
I
and
could.
If there was like Jeopardy for music, you would win.
Do you remember the Rock and Roll Jeopardy? They did that. I would sit at home and play and get every answer. I'm like a savant when it comes to music.
No, you are really.
Because I'm stupid in math. You know how in one subject you really stink and then you're really good in another?
Yeah.
Yeah. So music is my makeup for being such a moron in math.
Yeah, it really is good. And then somebody will say, "What's the name of that song?" And I'm like, it has this line in it.
It's funny because you can hear the very beginning of a very popular song, and I'll say, "This is a great song. I just love the song. What is it?" And then once they start singing, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
But-
funny.
Okay, so when we were, when Taylor and I were traveling the other weekend, she knows this stuff, and it's just like riding with you. She'll say, "You know what this song's about?"
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, "It's your mother." She said, "You know how I know that? Because she told me."
Well, you know what's really sweet is yesterday we were riding in the car, and she said, "Mom, I love you so much for instilling good music in me because when I was pregnant, most people play lullabies on their belly with headphones, and I was jamming the Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin and Janis Joplin. And so I can go from Patsy Cline all the way to 80s big hair to Tupac to just there's no limit with me."
Yeah.
So anyways, I do love music. If I'm awake, it's going.
Yeah. I'm good with it. Hey, speaking of our trip, we had somebody reached out to us and they ordered some Saul's barbecue sauce.
Ooh.
So they gave a shout out to us to the two Sauls when they ordered it. Said they heard it on our podcast. So
That's really cool.
yeah, I'm going back next weekend. So
They owe you a half rack.
they do. I'm gonna say, come on now.
Yeah, I might go with you. I don't know yet. I may
Yeah.
go down to the beach. Not sure.
Yep.
Beach or Birmingham. I've never been to
Oh.
Birmingham though, so it might be cool.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go.
Yeah. It's not a lot there.
Yeah.
But it's a cool area.
The one thing my daughter said is everybody was so nice.
They were.
Yeah, she was so blown away with how kind people were.
Yeah. Like when they accused us of not stealing, but buying all the barbecue sauce. He was like, "You ain't from around here, are you?
You ain't from these parts,
Yeah,
are you?
You ain't from these parts." Yeah, but they were cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
Awesome.
So, and I think we talked about this last time when Taylor was getting her antique stuff. It was just so funny. She's an old soul.
She is the oldest 15-year-old I've ever met.
Yeah, I mean, she really is. I looked at the lady and I said, "You know how many 15-year-olds come in here and buy this stuff, do you?" She was like, "No, not really." But it was cool. It was
Yeah,
cool.
she's a great kid. She's
Yep.
a really cool kid.
Yep. So you have some Sherlock stuff.
Okay. I'm not going to give up the name of the person in the house that was on the receiving end of this. I will say it was not me.
It wasn't me either.
So I'm awake very early the other day. I'm in this mode of waking up at 5 o'clock. Just my eyes pop open and that's it. So I come in here into the office or the studio now, as we call it. And I'm reading the news, listening to some music, and I hear, "Mom." So I think, oh no, what's up? So this person that shares the house with me, one of my kids comes in, the cat crawled up on this person while they were sleeping and sprayed the kid. Peed all over this kid.
I'm just gonna say,
Oh, it was bad.
yeah, can't do it.
She came up. Okay, so it was
Can't do
it was a girl. Okay, it was just let's just say Mason was safe.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I mean, the closer she got, I said you could just back right up. It was
Go stand in the yard.
bad. So I had to Clorox the whole room and wash. Luckily, we have a mattress cover, so it didn't get in the mattress. But and then he sprayed a chair yesterday, so Sherlock is in the penalty box.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I've got a friend who their cat did that after she was gone to college, and when she came back, the cat was mad at her. I guess I don't know. It just sprayed everything.
Oh, it was terrible. Of
Yeah.
course, this kid now is the butt of many jokes around the house. But it's been crazy. So I have a room for animals that has access to the outside. Now, for the most part, y'all, I'm tired of this. I'm just tired. Okay. It's every day. It's just nonstop drama. Dogs are so easy. So
They really are.
Sherlock will stay in the yard. He does not venture out of this yard at all, which is a good thing because he's not fixed yet. And Bob Barker really instilled in me to have my pet spayed or neutered.
They still say that.
And so I just kept it.
Okay, so that is so funny. So Mason is supposed to be watching his dinner, and obviously he did not. So, Gigi had to go check the hamburger steaks because the smoke alarm's going off. We're all safe. No need to panic. No need to panic. Okay, we're back.
Yeah. Special guest, the fire alarm, which I'm proud to say is working well. I about fell out in the chair I thought I was going to open the door and see flames shooting up.
Well, first when I heard it, I was like, what's that noise?
Well, I did too. I thought it was outside. It sounded like a truck backing up or something.
Yeah, it sounded like one of them beepers. Beep,
I ain't
beep.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
I literally was almost in the floor trying to get out of this chair because I thought my kitchen was on
Yeah.
fire.
If you think our show is not real, it's real. It's real.
Oh, my heart's still beating.
That's
and so
funny.
I asked Mason, "You didn't watch your burgers?" And no. So I had them in the air fryer, but they were just smoking in there. So, oh man, never a dull moment around here between smoke alarms and Sherlock and everything else. I'm just tired, guys. I need a break. I need to just go on a vacation by myself.
So we forgot to mention during our talking about hanging our stuff that we did hang some Shoeless Joe stuff up and some Yankee stuff.
Yes, we're huge baseball fans, guys.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. We volunteered at the Shoeless Joe Museum.
Yes, we did. I have worn his World Series ring.
Yeah, I did too. It was really cool.
Very cool. It was actually a pendant, and he had it made into a ring.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. So they're redoing that, by the way, actually.
Mm-hmm. They
They're in the
moved
middle.
moved
Yeah.
the house.
Yep. It's coming along nicely.
There's a movie that they're wanting to make about Shoeless Joe that they want to film here as well. And speaking of movies,
Oh
there's
no.
the Lifetime Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell movie, Doomsday Mom, is coming out this fall.
What the world?
I don't know. How are they going to get dialogue when it's private? Because we don't know anything.
Yeah. I don't even know.
I have so many questions.
I do too.
Who was in charge of casting Chad? Because I'm going to tell you, I would join a cult if he looked like that.
No.
He was
No.
the guy they got he got the Hollywood treatment. I hope they put a little suit on him and gave him some jaws and stuff because that guy, no.
He gonna have to put on 50, 60 pounds.
Just get one of those suits.
Oh, he could get the little large suit.
Little chunky suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Like
just,
Medea. Like Medea.
those movies are so funny.
Yeah.
They're great. I think it's too soon. Number one, we don't even have murder charges yet.
Yeah.
We don't have. I mean, we
How are you gonna end it?
Here's my theory.
To be continued.
Yeah, it's going to be a 2 or 3 parter. They're going to make a whole thing out of this.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I'm sure Pryor and Means are going to say that this just taints the jury pool even further.
Yeah.
I don't know how successful they'll be. One thing somebody asked was, can they make money off of this, Chad and Lori? And I think it's called the slasher law. The same was in place for Jodi Arias. When they started making all these movies about her, they can't profit off of it.
Nope.
So that's good. I don't know. I honestly thought it was a joke when I saw it.
Yeah,
I thought,
when you sent it, I was like, huh?
yeah. I don't know. Who did you think should have played Chad?
Okay. I went down the list. I said John Candy,
Yeah.
Kevin James,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm totally not trying to disrespect any of these actors. Some of them are deceased, but who else? Nathan Lane.
Nathan Lane would be great. Can you imagine Nathan Lane as Chad Daybell? I always think, that was my shin. I always think of him in The Birdcage. Like, that is my favorite movie of Nathan Lane's.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
He's
It's
so funny.
Who else did I say? James Corden.
Oh, that would have been my choice.
Yeah.
He does kind of not favor him, but I mean, this guy, it is a compliment to the guy that got to play Chad. He's very nice looking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what they were thinking.
I want to know who was advising them on this stuff.
I want to know who the casting director was, because the other thing too is the lady they have to play Lori, she's very beautiful, but she's like 20 years younger than Lori.
Yeah, we said Janice needs to play Lori.
Oh, yes. If you guys are following us on Instagram, if you scroll down, there is a girl named Janice, and she's active in some Facebook groups. She dressed up like Lori Vallow for Halloween and went and stood in front of the jail. And when those pictures hit the internet, I said, how is she out there having a photo shoot in front of the jail?
I really think they had phone calls too to the jail, if I remember right.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. I think that actually Nate, I don't know if it was Nate or some local station had to put out, it's not her.
Yeah, it was good.
Uncanny.
She looks just like her.
Yeah, they should have cast Janice as Lori and yeah. So I don't know. Patrick, or is it Patrick Duffy? Is that his name? Patrick Duffy? Yeah, he was in that. Was it Dallas?
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know who he's playing. Like, they won't say.
Yeah, I was trying to think too.
I have no clue.
Is this on Lifetime?
I think so.
Oh wow.
Lifetime does all these movies about killers.
Yeah.
I think they did a Jodi Arias one too.
Yeah.
Who knows? I just, thank goodness it's not Hallmark. Can you imagine like a Christmas Doomsday Mom special?
Yeah, it'd be horrible.
Yeah, I just think it's too soon. I feel bad for the family. They're already having to go through all this. Like, they're having to see their nightmare played out on TV, as if they're not doing it enough.
We heard the rumblings that this was going to happen. I just didn't know it was going to be this quick.
I had no clue.
I assumed they would wait till at least some
murder
charges
drop?
or something. Yeah,
very premature, but we don't know a whole lot about this case. So I'm just curious, how are they going to fill in those gaps when it's just the two of them alone?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Chad, you're the hottest cult leader I've ever seen.
You.
Anyway.
So you were going to buy you some blue jeans.
Yeah, I was going to buy some blue jeans, but I'm afraid somebody would stop and ask me if I got mauled by a tiger. What is up with blue jeans having slashes from the top of the thighs all the way down to the ankles? And they're like $100.
I think they should be cheaper because it's less material.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
You can go to the Goodwill and get you some Holy jeans a whole lot cheaper.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I probably would have rocked them in the 90s before I had my mom belly and my mom thighs, but now, you see some saggy skin hanging out of those little slats.
It gets windy. You catch some air in them things, man.
The only bonus is they would be amazing during a hot flash.
True. That's it. That's what they're trying to sell them for.
I'm gonna invent hot flash jeans where you can just remove the front panels.
Yeah, there you go.
And just expose the thighs.
Hey, that's why I wear Columbia pants / shorts that zipper off sometimes, like if I'm hiking.
Oh, those are great.
Oh yeah. So when you get hot, you just zip off the bottoms.
Yeah, but one time I was hiking and got hot, and I caught some thigh skin in the little zipper. And I howled like a wolf.
Not fun.
Not fun at all. So Austin Robinson, who is the foster dad of Victoria Rose, he has a bond hearing this Friday.
Yeah, I thought he waived all that.
I thought he did too, but I guess maybe since he didn't have one, he could ask, or maybe they were waiting to get some more discovery to make a better argument. But he's asked for a $50,000 bond.
Yeah, I don't think he'll make it.
No, because here's the thing. Not only did he go to the store to try to get something to hide bruising, they also gave her an Epsom salt bath before they called 911. And Fitz News got the 911 call, and I listened to it again today, and he just says, my daughter's choking on water. And he knew what had happened. So the argument is this. When you were aware that she had beaten her that severely, you did things to cover it up.
Yeah.
And then when it became clear the child was dead or dying, then you called 911 and you lied on the 911 call about why the child is in distress.
Yeah.
No way. Same thing with the girl that I know. When you help and try to cover things up, you get the charge as you should.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, I totally agree.
So we're going to keep an eye out for that. We'll let you know how it goes.
That's
but I
this
think
Friday, right?
this Friday, yeah.
I didn't see a time on it yet, though.
I contacted a friend of mine who's in media, and I think it's 9:30 in the morning, but I'll double check.
Okay.
We're not sure if they're going to live stream it or not. So we'll find that out too. If they do live stream it, we'll post a link.
I wish they would open back up. Supreme Court opened everything up, I think.
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
I don't know about here. I know in Idaho they did for the grand jury, but I haven't heard just across the board
Yeah.
as far as that goes. And so before we get started with what we're going to do tonight, the Jake Wagner in the Roden murders, he had a hearing this week. And his defense team is questioning whether the shoe print evidence, the shell cake... I'm still in fire alarm mode, guys.
Well, it kind of smells like burnt hamburger steak.
It really does, yeah. It's not yummy. I'm going to have to bust up my little incense in here in a minute.
Yeah.
So the shoe print evidence, the shell casings, and the photographs, they don't want those admitted, or that was the argument. But they dropped the objection and said they're going to bring in their own experts to testify. And the issue is they never found the shoes, but they have a photo of the shoes that they were able to say it was these type of Walmart brand shoes. And you also have the receipt that was in Jake's truck and pictures of his mom getting the shoes. So good luck with that one.
Yeah.
The shell casings, the problem with that is that they never recovered the gun. So they're just going to bring in their own expert. And the dad, Billy Wagner, last week, he challenged the same evidence. And they also questioned some bad acts evidence that will be admitted. And we don't really know what they're referring to, but whatever it is, they aren't charged with it. But the prosecution feels it's going to help their case. So interesting to see how that plays out.
Bad acts evidence.
I got a lot of bad acts evidence against me. So before we get started, I want to say, and I've said this plenty of times before, but we really want to make sure our listeners know that we're trying to do all of this responsibly in talking with this person I know that is in prison for life for murder. We will never advocate for her on here. We respect the court's decision, and I don't feel sorry for her where she is and why she's there. I feel sorry for the girl I knew because like we've heard over and over again, I would have never thought in a million years out of everybody I knew that she would be in prison for life. So we just want to make sure you know we're victims advocates. My heart goes out to the victim's family.
Yeah.
And the life that she was unable to lead because of some of the actions of the person I know. So I just want to make clear that she's never asked me to advocate for her, but I made clear to her in the beginning, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
The courts have spoken in the appeal process. She is in that now still. And whatever the appeals courts decide, we respect.
Our goal in this is just to give you an insight into what it's like.
Right.
I mean, we don't, she's guilty, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
She's been sentenced, and we're just trying to show you what it's like in there.
And I was laying in bed this morning at 5 because I woke up thinking, if you look at all of the cases that we're covering, every single defendant is a first-time offender and a first-time violent offender at that. None of these people have prior violent convictions, just like the person I know.
True.
So her navigating prison is going to be similar to what these people have to eventually navigate should they be found guilty in a court of law.
Yep.
And we believe all the cases we're covering, they will. Although crazy things have happened, but I really do think these are some solid cases.
Yep.
So a lot of people have just a morbid curiosity of what is the thought process. So we saw it as an opportunity.
Yeah, and it's like stamped 900 million times, quadrillion. I don't even know how big them zeros go, but I don't want to be in there.
No pokey for us.
Nope.
But what she sent me that I got a couple of weeks ago is something that she received when she was new to prison after she had been convicted and was found guilty and sentenced to life. And there is a support group that you can join, and it's called the Life Without Parole Support Group. And they have kind of a guide that's written by inmates to give to new lifers to help them sort of learn to navigate the prison system.
So it's like do's and don'ts.
Yeah. And actually, she emailed me last night and told me she's sending me some forms that show the process, if they have a grievance, if something happens while they're out and about, I guess, in the common rooms, just to show the process for reporting stuff.
Gotcha.
It's not like you just go up and say, this happened. There's a formal process. So we're going to start with the do's and don'ts of when you get to prison and you're not leaving.
Yep. So one of the first ones is for those of you who have sensitive cases, don't feel pressured to show your paperwork to anyone unless you trust them. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone.
Yeah, and I'm sure you get a lot of people that are new, and the people that are established, they're curious. Why are you here?
Oh, yeah.
What did you do? And I think the general consensus that I get from her is that you don't necessarily trust what people say either. People that are in there for crimes against children tend to try to hide it. And like we said previously on another episode, all they have to do is get somebody on the outside to look your case up. And when they find out you've lied and you've hurt a child, it makes it that much worse.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously these people in prison are not law-abiding citizens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would be if I did one night in the pokey. Like for research, but
I'm telling you, you on your own. No, thank you. So another is there can be judgments from others. Many of the top dogs have sensitive cases themselves. Eventually, it all becomes old news.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, knowing who you can trust. That'd be a big one.
Yeah.
Learn how to say no and set boundaries early with people. That'd be tough, though, going in and being the new kid on the cell block.
Yeah, because you have people in there who have been in for decades, some of them, and they know how it runs. And so if you're somebody like Lori or Letitia or Chad, county jail's not prison. It is a different ballgame. It's two different worlds.
Yeah. Yep. Some of the stuff like this, perceived disrespect could be sweeping a broom over somebody's feet, sitting in someone's couch or chair, side busting a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that means it's like the Baptists when you sit in their pew at church. You get the get out of my seat.
It's a very Christian thing.
Yeah, get out of my chair.
We're glad you're here. Get out my chair.
Yeah, get out my chair. And it seems to be you don't listen to other conversations, or if you listen, you don't comment.
Right.
Yeah.
Just mind your P's and Q's.
Yep.
Seems like the 4 biggest adjustments are hunger, missing home, learning how to sleep in prison, and then safety and comfort.
I don't think I could sleep.
I don't think I could sleep either. There's a lot of things I don't think I could do in prison.
No, for several reasons. One, it's uncomfortable. 2, you're in the cell with it could be a murderer or anybody. And I ain't going to sleep. I'm going to sleep one eye open.
Exactly. Yeah.
What you doing over there?
See, I would unintentionally disrespect somebody. I mean,
like you did in your dream, threw food in the lady's face.
I did. I flicked it right on her cheek. Still see it sliding down.
Yeah. So getting into the room guidelines. Don't bring the cops to your room. If your room is hit with a room search because of your actions, it is on you. If your roommates lose property because of it, it is on you. Dude, that'd be horrible.
Yeah. I mean, not only are you in this foreign environment, and no matter your crime, I'm sure the adjustment is traumatic.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere. This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
To have to be in that situation. And you don't get to choose your cellmates. It's not like college where you fill out a questionnaire and say, do you sleep late? Are you an early riser? Do you like to talk? You're thrown in with people that, like you say, have various crimes, personalities, may have mental illness. So there's a lot of variables that you have to navigate while you're adjusting to life in prison.
Yeah. I know somebody that got their Cheetos crunched in their college dorm room.
What?
Like, literally, it's a funny story. So the girl was in class, and when she came back to the dorm, her roommate, who she didn't get along with, she caught her. She had, like the plastic, not a tote, but it's like a crate.
Oh, yeah.
So she had her food in the crate, and her roommate was stomping her Cheetos in the crate.
On purpose?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Don't be stomping Cheetos.
That's so random. I think I would have went to the what do they call them? The room people, not hall monitors.
RAs, resident advisors.
Yeah, hall monitor. I always wanted to be a hall monitor in elementary school.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, don't get your Cheetos.
I also wanted to be a crossing guard, but my mom, who was not an early riser, said, yeah, you're not doing that.
Dude, I got to be a crossing guard and do the flag up and down.
I wanted to do it, but my mom liked to sleep in but hey, I will tell you, we always had a hot breakfast before school every day.
Hey, but did you I got to wear the little I don't know, like a seatbelt over you. I don't know.
Yeah, the little safety strap.
Orange, yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous of you right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go buy me a safety vest and a flag and stand at the end of my driveway and just wave cars down the road. Maybe I'll feel like I got to be one eventually.
Do it. But yeah, I got to do the flag in middle school.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Yep. So renting out your locker or drawer will bring future drama. Don't do it.
Yeah, because here's the thing. If the person renting out your drawer or your locker stashes some drugs or contraband in there, it doesn't matter. You're busted for it.
Yeah.
So then it just becomes a big thing. And in fact, she said there was some drama this week. They've been locked down due to a COVID outbreak there. And so tempers are flaring. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's worse, too, in the summer in prisons.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because it's so hot.
I just can't imagine that many women together, just in a general sense, especially as we all know, certain times in the month. I mean, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I would much rather, for the most part, hang out with guys because there's no drama. I mean, I'm too old to, hang out. I mean, I just don't hang out anymore. Literally, I hang out with friend-wise you.
Yeah.
That's it. My circle is so small. But, I'm very happy with that.
I feel like you're not allowed to have a small circle in prison.
No. And I mean, even if you have a circle, it seems like it's very fickle and is subject to change and violently at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm tunneling out through the toilet.
Yep. You're going to go Shawshank.
That's right. That is right.
And on the same note, people that want to use, you don't need to ask people to well, we're speaking as if some of y'all are going though. In prison, you don't want to.
Don't do this if you get arrested.
Statistically, maybe one of our listeners has been in prison, and I don't judge. So
I don't judge. I just ain't going.
Same, girl. Me either. So you have to figure out if your roommates. Oh wait, back to my original point. There could be strings attached if you borrow somebody's locker or drawer. Obviously, I do you a favor, you do me a favor, and if you don't, you could get your face cut.
Yeah. You scratch your back, I'll scratch, or whatever it is. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Yeah. Just
no.
Nope. Keep your fingers off my back.
That's right. So figure out if your roomies are morning people or not morning people. Give your roommates a chance to get ready. make a cup of coffee before talking to them.
And don't jump into somebody's shower time.
Yeah. Okay, the don't talk about morning people. When I travel, that's how some of my family members are. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, that's why I always set my alarm for about 20 minutes before anybody else in the house gets up so I can have 2 cups down and be functional.
I'm telling you, you just need an IV. What if I got a coffee patch? You could just put a coffee patch on.
Yeah, I need one of those stomach tubes that I just, can just have a constant little flow.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm 8 cups a day easily.
I'm 8 cups of water.
Well, it's kind of like water. You make it with water.
I got to tell you this. So when we were traveling the other night, we stopped it was like 9:30 and got cookout. Well, since 1997, I've only drank water.
Yes.
If by chance the place messes up my order and I take a small sip out of it, it makes me sick as a dog. Like I'm nauseated. Like it's just horrible. We get to the hotel. I take a sip of drink. Guess what it is?
What is it?
Sprite.
Oh.
It was so horrible. My mouth's burning. It took me to probably the next day, probably to around 3:00 before I felt better.
Yeah, I haven't drank it in probably 7 years or so, maybe, and I don't miss it.
No.
It's just too sugary.
Yep. I'm a water person.
Yep. I'm a coffee person. So complaining about your time or situation could cause problems if you do it all the time. We all miss home and we all want to go home. See, I would be that person.
Yeah, I hate it here.
I would walk around
I'm
and
not
say,
supposed to be here.
This stinks.
I didn't do it.
I want to go
I'm
home.
innocent. Yeah. I miss my mama.
Oh, yeah. That would be me. I miss my mama, my grandma, my kids. Oh, yeah. I would be the complainer.
I would come and bake you a cake and put a nail file in it, though.
Thank you.
That'd work.
You learned that from Barney Fife.
Oh, it was actually, no, he made them. That episode, okay, I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm a Andy Griffith guru. I've got all 8 seasons on DVD and the initial pilot that ran on the Danny Thomas show. So Barney's trying to rehab the inmates, and one of them makes a passkey out of a metal kit. Yeah. The nail file in the cake is Three Stooges.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Nook,
yep.
nook, nook.
Nook, nook. So don't bring your room business out of the room.
Yeah. And don't get in between a couple's dispute.
I'm going to tell you, basically just sit down and shut up.
Exactly. Sit with your hands between your legs.
Yeah,
And
don't look at nobody. Don't talk.
I would pick a spot on the wall and stare at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it also says, try not to bug roommates with the same questions that they already answered.
That would be hard because you're new.
Yeah.
And you don't know things.
Right.
So I feel like you would want to ask questions, but then don't ask questions.
Right. Learn how to say no and set boundaries early with your roommates.
Don't get on my bunk. It's like camp. You couldn't sit on other people's bunks. Stay off other people's bunks.
Yeah, I don't want your little sweaty self at camp on my bunk.
No.
I never went to camp, though. I always wanted to go to summer camp, though. Like a sleepaway, but then I saw Halloween I saw Halloween. And I was like, I'm good.
Hey, this ain't no lie. The camp where we were, when I worked, they had, good grief, I just lost the animal. Not bobcats, but, it might have been a bobcat. No, it wasn't a bobcat. It was
it a fox?
It was a mountain lion.
Oh.
So you weren't supposed to walk by yourself places. Well, me and my friend Sarah, who was here a few weeks ago, so we get back up to the dorm one night, and it's later because we were doing laundry.
Mm-hmm.
And I see something run by my door of the truck. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was a mountain lion. And she's like, oh, no, it was just Kai the dog. And I was like, oh, okay. So we get out and go in the dorm, and she starts laughing. I'm like, what are you laughing at? She said, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a mountain lion.
Because she knew you wouldn't leave.
She was like, I knew you would sleep in the car. I was like, for real?
Lay the seat back. Get comfy.
That's exactly right.
So you don't hang your feet off the top bunk because nobody wants your feet in their face.
Yeah.
And rethink changing your bedding when your bunkie is home. Sheets in the face are a big no-no, too.
Sheesh.
Man, I would get my tail kicked the first day because I would break all these no-no rules. I would complain. I would ask, what are you in for?
I don't want to be here. I'm innocent.
Yeah.
So talking about finances, right? That's where we are, right?
That's where we are.
If you have money, keep it to yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to do that regardless.
Yeah, I'm going to have holy pants, holy shoes. I ain't got nothing. Yeah.
If you're shopping Canteen and getting boxes on a regular basis, know that people are watching and may want to be your friend. Watch out for the Canteen people.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the word here.
This is like middle school all over again.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my locker.
Yeah, watch out. People want to be your friend.
If you lived in a big house or drove a fancy car, who cares? Keep it to yourself.
Yeah, don't try to buy your friends in prison. I feel like that happens a lot, though, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, it's because what you are supposed to have is very limited, and if you don't have family or friends that keep money available for you to go to the canteen, then you get your 3 meals a day, I guess, and that's it. So then it becomes a bargaining chip. You can barter with ramen.
Yeah, I feel like that happens in movies a lot. It's like, okay, you protect me, I'll give you all my food. Or I can pay you to protect me. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Don't become the bank.
Don't buy friends in prison.
Yeah. If you're rolling, think twice before you put money onto others' books. I guess that means you're gambling?
No, rolling means you're rolling in the dough, I think.
Okay. I thought it meant you were playing dice.
You got money. And if you're rolling, be cautious. Getting extra boxes in other people's names. So they're only allowed quarterly boxes now. And some people don't have money to get boxes. That's where you get name brand stuff. You can get like Adidas flip flops. You can get nice shirts that are comfy. You can get name brand shampoo. All the, I guess, the comforts you're allowed to have in prison. So it can cause jealousy too.
See, all the prisons we've been into doing ministry, they have to wear certain stuff. They're not allowed to wear all that other stuff.
Yeah. But a lot of these places do have like maybe 2 different style of shoes that women can choose from and a couple. So I don't know. It may not be the same in every prison.
I ain't gonna lie. One of them we were in, you know what it was? Them white New Balance that our dads wore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was one they had to wear.
Yeah, nobody ain't fighting you for those.
Oh, no. You can have them. You can have them.
I'll go barefoot, thank you.
Yeah. If you're broke, think twice before letting others put money onto your books.
Yep. And getting into debt, any kind of debt, whether small or big, while being here is dumb.
Yeah. I mean, people, these are convicts. They're not law-abiding citizens.
So moving down to disciplinary write-ups. Don't get a bad reputation or name. There's always a bigger fish in the pond than you. Once you lose your integrity, it's hard to get it back, and it can take years to get it back.
See, you flipping that food in that lady's face, that was not good.
My integrity would have been lost on day 1.
Yeah. So... we're skipping to what? Who do you ask for help?
Number 10, your emotional roller coaster.
Oh, there we go.
Dealing with and or accepting your time is difficult. Grieving versus loss. And I have talked to the person I know about this, and there is definitely a grieving period for the life you will never have back. And the loss of family. And the thing that is the hardest for her is watching not seeing her child, her son that she gave birth to while in jail for years now. The person that had custody of him has stopped all communication because as the child got older, the guardian didn't feel it was appropriate to go visit mom in prison. And when you have life without parole, I've thought about this. I think it might be a good thing, and I might get some flack for it, but I feel like when that kid gets to be a teenager, should they choose to continue that relationship, that's good. I don't know that for life without parole, I mean, maybe a random yearly visit every 6 months, but it seemed like my friend had this really distorted perception of what was actually going to be reality. And she thought it would be weekly visits and the kid would know that this was mom, to where the guardian felt there were fights that broke out sometimes when they were there. There was screaming, there was yelling. And so I get it on that level.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, she's lost grandparents while she's in there, and she said it's hard knowing that I'll never hug my parents again. And they live across the country, and they're getting older now, and they don't travel very much. So she doesn't know at what point she may ever see them again in person.
Yeah. And when you visit, you're not allowed to touch normally.
No.
At all.
I think she was able to... I don't know if she was able to touch her son when he was brought in, but she was able to do a little Jack in the Box. And I think, no, in one of her letters, she did say that she was able to hold him. So maybe if you have a child that's young and you have no disciplinary issues, they might let you have some contact physically.
Yeah.
So then being away from your family, friends, children, husband can be heartbreaking, but you will survive. How well you survive is up to you. It takes work. You are stronger than you know.
Yeah. And feeling like you can't do this, it says we've all been there. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you're in there with people who've been in there. They could be in there 40, 50 years.
Yeah. Some of these people have been in way longer than they were free.
Yeah. So I just mentally.
It would kill me.
Oh, yeah. Because you're not going to forget everything that, I mean, we take for granted.
Right.
A lot of things. Going to the store, calling whoever we want to call, but again, we're law-abiding citizens, but you're not going to forget those things. Right.
And then the thought of life going on without you has to be hard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So feeling suicidal and or depressed, like you're losing your mind, anger, guilt, regret, fear, beating yourself up. What does that accomplish? Becoming miserable. We can all fall victim to life-aritis, a state of being bitter and negative about all the negative and unfair things that prison can be about.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a big one, the medication trolley. Be informed before you hop onto the psych meds ride.
Yeah.
That'd be a tough one.
It is tough. And I would wonder what percentage of prisoners are on some kind of psychiatric depression medicine. I would think it would be a huge number.
Yeah. We questioned that on Lori.
Yeah.
If you remember way early on.
Right.
We questioned that.
I mean, I think it would be more common to be on them than not, especially in the early years, because it is such an adjustment regardless of how big of a monster you are.
Yep.
And then there are people who aren't monsters that are in for nonviolent crimes, but that are lifers. So I would probably hop on this, anything, I guess, to take that edge off.
Yeah.
And I think they probably prescribe them very freely because it may cut down on altercations and drama.
Yeah.
But I do know that there are clever ways to hide your medication, and then that becomes a bargaining tool as well, from what she was telling me.
Sure.
You can tuck it somewhere, and they make you look. But she said there are some people who can swallow it halfway, and when they walk away, they regurgitate it, and then they might give those up for a couple of smokes.
That's gross.
Yeah, it's strange, right?
You. Number 11 should be, don't take soggy medicine from anybody. It's
so
gross.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
Nasty.
talking about.
Yeah, I'm a germaphobe, so I'm like,
You and Taylor both.
Yes.
2 peas in a pod.
That's right. That's right. So keep to yourself, remain human, be yourself, don't try so hard to fit in. I don't want to fit in that. I don't want to fit in.
Yeah, it says loneliness. Take your time getting to know someone and letting them into your life like a girlfriend. It's not going to fill the hole or emptiness you experience. Only you can. And they'll tell you that whether, and this is an expression, whether you're gay for this day or you went in as a gay woman, it happens to a lot of women who just become lonely. But it also becomes a huge source of drama because she was saying that these relationships never last.
Yeah.
She said she has not seen one that was successful that didn't end in a beatdown or both of the people ending up in segregation because they got in a fight. So
Yeah.
she said that she avoids it completely.
I'm gonna tell you, if I ever had to go, I'd be breaking out like Escape from Alcatraz. I'm gonna be digging through the concrete.
Then you're gonna get put in solitary.
I'm gonna blow that raft up made out of them raincoats.
Yeah.
I'm jumping in the, what river's that? San Francisco, what is it?
The San Francisco Bay.
Yeah, I'm jumping in.
Yeah, those two guys jumped in, and I think they ended up in. We watched that documentary, didn't we? Where they think those guys ended up in Ecuador or somewhere, and
they lived. They were not dead.
I agree 100%. And they were so old at the point that the FBI said, even if it is them, we're not going to go get them because they're old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you remember on the movie, he left this chrysanthemum on the island.
See, I didn't watch the movie. I watched the documentary where they traced their
Clint
steps.
Eastwood, amazing.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, we got to watch it.
I don't think I've. No, I did see Gran Turismo. I haven't seen a lot of Clint Eastwood movies.
No, we have got to watch Escape from Alcatraz with Clint Eastwood. It is a classic.
Yeah, Alcatraz is cool. I've been there. It's very haunted.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
I've never been there, but I heard it's weird.
Weird vibes.
Yeah.
Weird vibes.
It'd be, you know what would happen if you went there again? You'd probably get locked in there by accident.
See, those
It'd be the last tour.
Yeah, for real. And it's condemned. Nobody's allowed on the island. It's going to sink into the ocean, and Gigi's just stuck in the Birdman cell.
Would be, we're going to close down for 7 months for cleaning and remodeling.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, it'd be you.
See, people probably think that, no, all this stuff can't happen to her. Oh, it does.
Yeah. You can make you the plaster head out of plaster.
Oh,
they made it out of newspaper stuff and all.
They still have it there. It's very creepy.
Yeah.
It's very creepy looking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got some age on it, but I can't imagine it looking any better.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it worked because...
Dude, they escaped.
They escaped.
Them sharks didn't eat them.
No.
That documentary tried to say them sharks got them.
No. Not the one I watched. The one I watched pretty much acknowledged that they probably got away. There was something about a private plane, like a seaplane that I don't know. It was very intricate.
Yeah.
It was like all El Chapo.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, sustaining hope. This will be our last one we'll finish up with here.
Yeah.
Feeling like giving up, make it a temporary moment. We've all been there.
Yeah, and so the girl that I know said that her first 2 years in county jail, because if you remember, she was in 3.5 years before she went to trial. She tried 12 or more times to kill herself.
Wow.
And she said it just, with all hope gone, she didn't care.
See, this is why I want Chad and Lori to go to the big house.
Yeah.
Because right now they really kind of do have a cakewalk.
Oh, yeah, and they're in such tiny places that this is no preparation for prison. They are going to go in there just like newborns, learning how to do everything over again because they're learning a different life.
Yeah, but right now they're segregated from everybody. They're doing their own little thing. So, yeah, I want them to go to the big house.
Should we tell them what somebody reached out and told us about a little thing with Chad in jail?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So we had awesome listener reach out. She was so cool. She had somebody she knew had been in prison or in the jail.
We verified this, by the way.
Yep. They had served some time in there. And this gentleman kind of yelled and screamed at Chad and kind of gave him down the road.
He was on the phone or something, right?
Yeah. He yelled.
Chad was on the phone.
Chad was on the phone. And he kind of yelled and gave him down the road because I think Chad was taking a while on the phone or something.
And they said he was laughing and stuff.
Yeah, that he was laughing and all or whatever. And this guy just kind of went off on him, yelling at him and stuff. So he's not got it easy per se in that area.
No, but we were able to verify through a couple of different means that the person was in jail with him at that time, and we're not going to give any names or specifics, but that was...
But it was a prisoner. It wasn't anybody working there.
Right. It was an inmate. And we've known about that for, about a month and a half now?
Yeah.
And we just kind of didn't know if we should put it out there but we verified it early on. I mean, it's just we weren't sure.
Yep. But yeah, so he is getting yelled at and kind of given a hard time when he's able.
All right. So we're going to run through this really quickly. Remain in your faith or in your higher power. Stay connected with your family and friends. Write and call whenever possible. Plan for the future and make goals for yourself. Be kind to others. Get connected to the Life Without Prison support group. How to sustain hope. Some life without paroles do go home. There is hope. And go to the law library as much as possible because nobody knows your case as well as you do.
Yeah. So those are just crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just a baby learning how to play.
Yeah.
You just go into this as naive and dumb about it, apparently. And the one thing she said is nobody, no matter how notorious, and I'll tell you, the other day, it's not fair that we don't give names about some things. So I will tell you, she is in the same prison as Gabriel Hernandez's mother. And that is who apparently attacked a guard just to be put in segregation because she is a huge target in there.
Wow.
I'm just going to put it out there. I believe my source. I believe her. And so she's in with some big names.
Yeah. Yeah. Man.
So I think we should stop here. We have a few more we'll do on the next episode. Not long, maybe 10 minutes, but I think we probably, I mean, it feels like an hour ago now the house was almost on fire, so.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Pretty close.
And I'm tired. I've been doing spring cleaning. I just need a shower and like for this cat not to act up tonight.
Meow.
That's all I asked for. I'm going to stick him in Fruit Loops car. Oh, by the way, okay, before we go, I got one more Sherlock story. This morning I had to run down to the gas station to put some gas in my car. And I got to the end of my street and I hear a meow and he was in my car.
Oh, no.
Yeah. He got through the open. I'd rolled my windows down early this morning and he had apparently jumped in and fallen asleep on the back bench. And so I can't imagine if he'd have got out and darted across a busy road or something.
Oh, wow.
I'd have been like, bye. Oh, darn. I think my kids would have accused me of doing it on purpose after the last few days.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, if anything happens, we'll be back. We're going to cover that bond hearing on Friday for Austin Robinson, and we'll keep an eye on Valo stuff. But otherwise,
if you haven't signed that petition, I think it's over 40,000. So
it's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, they're still looking to get those numbers up. So
yep,
look for that Victoria Rose Smith petition.
Yep. So unless anything crazy happens, we will see you on Sunday.
Good night.
Wells Fargo presents one of the surest ways to grow your money. A Wells Fargo CD account, where you can earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield on an 11-month term with a minimum opening deposit of $5,000. Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/CD rates to open a CD account and start growing your savings with us.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.